Hey yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to my channel. This is Mauro and today we're gonna react to the last country of the former Yugoslavia. I mean, it's not technically the last country, but the Slovenia episode still hasn't come out. So this is gonna conclude for now the former Yugoslavia countries. This is gonna be very interesting. And I already got one question before I even start the video of Geography Now. Why is it called Republic of North Macedonia? Gotta let me know down in the comments because I always heard it, at least in Italian, it's only called Macedonia, so I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. Let's check this out.
Alright guys, this is going to be the most controversial video I've made since Armenia and Azerbaijan. As you know, we follow the alphabetical English list of countries in the UN. That being said, as the UN, EU, European Council, and NATO all give the same title for this country, this episode is going to go under F for former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. However...
so before it was called, this one is 4 years ago, so it was called former Yugoslavia country of Macedonia. That's interesting. So now it's called Republic of North Macedonia. Why North?
As the Republic of Macedonia, as over 130 countries call it that on their own terms, and because it's shorter and easier to say. Okay? Are we good? Cool?
So funny. He's such a nice guy, always trying to not create any, any conflict between people.
Hey everyone, I'm your host Barbie. For those of you who know nothing about this country or why I'm trying to take so many precautions, basically all you have to know is that in almost every aspect, this place is actually pretty plain, simple, and chill. It's just the name that starts all the drama. You might be wondering why. Well, we will explain in a bit, but first, let's talk about where it is. So, the Republic of Macedonia. Am I good? I know you don't like it.
So it's between Greece and Macedonia. Is it that because of the former Macedonian Empire of Alexander the Great? Because it was called the Macedonian Empire. I don't know, might be because of that, because Alexander the Great was Greek, I think. I don't know.
Thank you. So, the Republic of Macedonia is kind of like a country that got mixed up, tossed around, flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a moment just sitting right here to tell you how this...
Yes. It really sounds like the intro song of Will Smith, The Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, high five! First of all, the country is landlocked and located in the Balkan Peninsula of Southeast Europe, surrounded by Bulgaria, Greece, Albania, and depending on which side of this sovereignty debate you stand on, Kosovo and Serbia. Guys, it's the Balkans, Europe's most dysfunctional family. The country is divided into 9 regions, with the capital Skopje located in the north-central part of the country, where a quarter of the entire population lives. It's also the historical birthplace of Mother Teresa, and in the city square, it has a statue of Alexander the Great. Look, immortalized Alexander the Great. In their land. Oh, and they named their airport after him, too. The country has only 2 main civilian airports.
So, was he Macedonian or Greek? Let me know down in the comments. This is really interesting.
Skopje Alexander the Great International and Ohrid St. Paul the Apostle International by Lake Ohrid. Ohrid is a popular tourist and vacation spot. However, the second and third largest cities are Bitola, Kumanovo in the northeast of Skopje. The E75 highway is the longest and busiest road that traverses the entire country north to south. Fun little side note, in the Republic of Macedonia, the sidewalks are actually used for both walking and parking.
Oh my god. That's terrible.
Mosque in Bitola. Tetovo is kind of like the Albanian capital of the country, as
so beautiful.
The Albanian population in the country, adorned with geometric and floral motifs all over. In the west, we reach the strange town / micronation of Vestani, which declared itself its own republic and even has its own currency called the...
so they use the Cyrillic alphabet. That's really interesting.
Dominates the landscape, though. It would have to be monasteries, churches, fortresses, and mosques. I did 4 like this. That's weird. This is how I made it more. Ones like St. John the Baptist Monastery, which supposedly has the forearm of St. John the Baptist, embellished with extremely intricate wood carvings in the interior. The Calais Fortress in Skopje and the Tsar Samuel Fortress in Ohrid stick out too. So those are some of the most notable sites, but you're probably still wondering, okay, that's nice, but what does any of this have to do with the country's controversial name? We'll explain that in a little bit in the demographics section, but first let's slowly keep you distracted from the inevitable rage fest by telling you more about the pretty mountains and rivers and stuff.
Such a good actor.
One more round of plain objective fact reporting before the gray zone of doom comes up in the next section. In the simplest way I can put this, the country is about 80% mountainous and basically split in half by the longest river, the Vardar, that flows north to south and emptying in the Aegean Sea. On the west of the river, you have the Dinaric Alps with the tallest peak, Mount Korab, along the border of Albania. The general South Balkan region that the country lies on sits on the subduction zone between the European and African plates, cut right in the Mediterranean. Therefore, the Republic of Macedonia is subject to some earthquake activity every so often. The Republic of Macedonia is famous for two things: tobacco and opium. The opium here is the national
wow.
which has disputably the highest quality in the world with about 14 morphine units per specimen. Yeah, sorry Afghanistan. Hang in there though, you're doing good. The crop is mostly pharmaceuticals and transported all over Europe. There's also the Pesha Cave in Makedonski Brod, which is famous for looking like Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings. Close by Skopje, you can't miss the Matka Valley with the canyons. Of course, the prize trophy of the country would have to be Lake Ohrid, one of the oldest and deepest lakes in Europe with over 200 different endemic species, including the Ohrid trout, which is one of the national animals. Some national dishes include meat pie and ivar dish made of crushed bell peppers and garlic, sometimes referred to as vegetable caviar.
Delicious.
The Serbians will say that they created it. And that's about it. Stay tuned. France is coming up next.
But come on, he was joking. It's just 4 minutes.
Oh yeah, how did this country get their whole name controversy dispute thing?
Yeah, let's try. It's gonna happen.
It was a train wreck. I'll do my best. Transition. Oh boy, this is gonna be just dandy. No matter what I say in any angle in this section, someone is gonna disagree and throw sharp objects at me. But
yeah, this is the internet. Things like that will always be happening.
Come on, Barbie, you can do this. Just hey, we haven't done a Bob Saget joke in a while. Duh, I'm Bob Saget. I wear dad pants and I once sat on a pizza. Okay, first of all, the country has about 2 million people and was the only former Yugoslav republic to gain independence without any bloodshed. About 65% identifies as ethnically Macedonian, and a quarter are Albanians, and the rest are made up of groups like Turks, Romani, Serbs, and Bosniaks. The currency is also the Macedonian dinar. They use the CEF type outlets, and they drive on the right side of the road. Now let's begin the discussion. First of all, what exactly are some distinguishing traits of people that identify as Macedonian? Well, for starters, just like we explained in the Bulgaria episode, they have Slavic roots and speak a Slavic-based language that is very similar to Bulgarian. Most people in both countries can understand each other just fine, and many have relatives and family that live in each other's countries. The people of this country have been tossed around over and over again in the past millennia, and it wasn't until the Balkan Wars that things really got cracking. For those of you who don't know, the Balkan Wars basically just went like this. Oh no, we don't like the Ottomans. Let's fight them. Yeah. What the? We had an agreement. You screwed it all up. You're all dead. And that's about it. Essentially, the area that takes up the parameters of modern-day Republic of Macedonia were sort of the product of Yugoslavia after World War II. First, they were called Vardar Banovina, and then it became the Socialist Republic of Macedonia. To this day, Macedonians claim that they are descendants of Alexander the Great and the ancient Macedonians that were mixed in with the Slavic tribes that migrated.
Wow. So wait. So 1944. Oh. Wow. So 1929 was when the Yugoslavia was first put together, right?
It became the Socialist Republic of Macedonia.
Oh. So that, oh wow, 1944. I think the other countries until 1990, something like that, they were in Yugoslavia, I think. I don't know.
Macedonia. To this day, Macedonians claim that they are descendants of Alexander the Great and the ancient Macedonians that were mixed in with the Slavic tribes that migrated into the area in the 6th century AD. Then in 1991, Yugoslavia broke up, and that was when the whole modern mess with Greece really heated up. I mean, it was already kind of heated before that, but this just made things a lot worse. To this day, Greece deliberately opposes the usage of the title Macedonia, as they claim the name is historically inseparable from Greek heritage, and they are the only ones that have the right to use the name, let alone the symbols. And shortly after they they said that, the Republic of Macedonia started to use the symbols. Yeah, that didn't really help the conflict. One thing that both Greeks and Macedonians can agree on is that historically there was a region called Macedonia that expanded
Yeah,
to India.
that was exactly why I thought that there was this dispute because of the Macedonian Empire.
What they disagree on is who the Macedonians and Alexander the Great really were, which, I'm gonna try my best, kind of went like this. You guys are constructing a narrative and appropriating our heritage and symbols, and it all started with Tito. Macedonia is an inherently Greek title, and you guys are not Greek, let alone Hellenistic in any way. We never claimed to be Greek, and neither was Alexander the Great. He was ethnically Macedonian, which was a separate, distinct group apart from the Greeks, who mixed in with our Slavic forefathers after they arrived centuries later. Dude, the Macedonians were Greeks. They spoke Greek, they had the same culture, they worshipped the same gods, they spread the Greek language across the empire. Alexander the Great was taught by Aristotle. They were Greek. Yeah, he spoke Greek. He also spoke Persian and a ton of other languages. And if they were Greek, why would they go to war with a ton of other Greek cities so often? He spoke the original Macedonian language first and then promulgated the Greek culture as it was seen as advantageous. That's just a lie your leaders have told you to set a footing for future claims against Greek territory. Macedonia has been in the name of our North region for over 3,000 years, with real Greek Macedonians today living in that area. Yeah, that totally explains the actions of Ioannis Metaxas in 1913. I knew you would bring that up. Look, I know that was tragic and horrible, but it's completely irrelevant to the actual documented, archaeologically corroborated historical facts that you can't deny.
Wow.
Clearly you need a history lesson. No, you do! You do! You do! So, guys, the Pirin region... Disclaimer, this is pretty much just what the government and radical nationalists say. Most of the general Greek and Macedonian populations don't even really care too much about this.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
UN, EU, European Council have all somewhat...
That's what I thought, because I never heard that much. I mean, you know, like the Serbs with the Croatian people, with the Bosnian, you know that they got a big tension, especially Serbia and Croatia, but this one I never heard before, so I don't know, it's just because of the name, probably.
Greece agreeing to appoint the title Former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. Many Greek and Macedonian politicians have said that they would maybe be willing to settle on a new compound country name that deliberately distinguishes the country apart from the word Macedonia. Some suggestions include Slavo-Macedonia, Upper Macedonia, or Northern Macedonia, but for now, the one that kind of unofficially stands at a somewhat not perfect but not too rage-inciting national title is the Republic of Macedonia.
So then they settled for Republic of North Macedonia.
Wrestler Saban Trstena being considered a national icon as he won a gold medal in 1984. The Men's Handball League made 4 appearances in the World Championships. Some notable Macedonians throughout history include poets Blaise Koneski, Kol Nedeljkovski, painter Peter Manzev, pianist Simon Turpchevsky, Academy Award-nominated director Milcho Manchevsky, and of course, even though she was ethnically Albanian, Mother Teresa was born in Skopje. All right, I think it's time to move on. Let's jump into diplomacy. Well, as you can probably guess, the Republic of Macedonia is kind of surrounded by neighbors that all have some kind of issue with them. The general stereotype is that Serbia doesn't recognize their church, Bulgarians don't recognize their sovereignty, Albanians don't recognize the western border, and Greece, yeah, you can kind of already guess. However, it's the 21st century, and the millennial generation really doesn't care too much about their grandparents' drama. Borders are totally open, people travel back and forth between these countries, and trade is consistent as long as you got a good bottle of Balkan wine to share. Serbia remained close, as their split from the Republic was the only one without bloodshed. Even though some political points are disputed, they're still cool. And Bulgaria is like the country where the Republic of Macedonia kind of sneaks into the EU through a loophole in the passport system, in which you can totally qualify if you have family in Bulgaria, which many Macedonians do. Turkey still gets along nicely with them, however, it's been favoring Albania and Kosovo a little bit more these days. They're best friends, however, and out of all the Macedonian geographies I asked, more or less, most of them agree that Croatia and Bosnia and Herzegovina are probably their closest ally. These two countries all share a deep history of being former Yugoslav republic states that go way back. Have you ever had friends that you made while you were all being punished for something at the same time? Yeah, that's kind of how it is with these guys. They've seen so much struggle and hardship together and still managed to smile back at each other the entire time. Yeah, it's like Breakfast Club. In conclusion, just saying the word Macedonia incites a lot of opinions and frustrations with certain groups of people. And I'm not going to pretend like I have an answer to all this. The Balkans will always be indescribably complicated. It's just interesting how a simple name can cause so much uproar. Names matter. Let that be a lesson for you today. Restez à l'écoute, France sera le prochain.
Yeah, I already did react to France, so you can go and check it out in my channel. I'm gonna put the playlist of all the reaction I did on Geography Now. But anyway, guys, this was really interesting. I had no idea about the dispute of the name, because in Italy we just call it Macedonia. Probably is the international name, you know, that has more trouble, you know, being chosen. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. But anyway, guys, that's it for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. I did. I learned many new interesting things, and I will see you next time.